everyone, this is Akhilesh Kumar Bind, PGT English, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Tengavalli. I hope you all will be fine. Dear friends, we all people know the importance of grandparents. What grandparents do for us, what we learn from them. We know very well, sometimes our grandparents play the role of parent also. Sometimes they are our teachers, and sometimes they are the best friend of us. We people know how they behave with us, how they love with us. Each and every time they care for us. They want us. And they play very important role in the building of our characters. We can't deny this. The same bond of grandchildren and grandparents. Here we are going to deal in this topic. The name of topic is The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. In this topic, Khushwant Singh himself, he has given a portrait of his own grandmother. Dear friends, the portrait, what does it refer? Portrait, picture of something, but here portrait refers pen picture, true picture of Khushwant Singh, who is the writer of this topic. He has himself written something about his own grandmother. That's why here portrait, true picture, pen picture of his own grandmother. What he has written, what was relationship between them, we will deal in this topic. And when you will go through the topic, you will realize the same affection, the same love, the same bonding between us also. You will feel how your grandparents act with us. It's clear? Dear friends, before going to the topic, we have a brief description of the author Khushwant Singh. Now you can see image of Khushwant Singh, okay, 1 and 2 here also. Now listen carefully. Khushwant Singh, he was born on 2nd February in 1915 and he died on 20th March in 2014. He was born in Hatali, Punjab to a Sikh family. He is a prominent Indian novelist and journalist. Singh's weekly column, with malice towards one and all, carried by several Indian newspapers, is among the most widely read columns in the country. An important Indo-Anglian novelist, Singh is best known for his transient secularism, his humor, and an abiding love of poetry. His comparisons of social and behavioral characteristics of Westerners and Indians are laced with acid wit. He served as editor of several well-known literary and news magazines, as well as two major broadsheet newspapers through the 1970s and 1980s. Khushwant Singh was a member of the Rajya Sabha, upper house of the Indian Parliament also, from 1980 to 1986. Among other honors, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1974 by the President of India. This is a brief description of the author Khushwant Singh. Okay. Now let's start the first topic of our Hornbill book, and the topic has been told earlier. which is the portrait of a lady by Khushwant Singh. Dear friends, now listen carefully. We are going to start the first phase of this topic. The author says, my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He didn't look the sort of a person who would have a wife or children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother, being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Dear friends, in the first page, in the first para, the author says about his grandmother. How was she? He says his grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, we people know how is the nature, how is the nature of body, how they look like, the same, how they are, mostly they would be old. We people know the same. Here the author says his grandmother was like everybody's grandmother, old. Okay, as we people know, mostly grandparents are old. That's why they are grandparents. Okay, so he says she was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled. Now her face, she was old first thing, and her face was wrinkled. Wrinkled, you know, a wrinkled face. And for the 20 years, means to say from 20 years, he had seen her in the same gesture, in the same appearance. From 20 years. 20 years, people said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband. Okay, and people around him, the people who were living there, they used to tell him that once she had been young and pretty and she had even a husband, but that was hard to believe. The author says people used to say once his grandmother was young and pretty, and we people know that is the age which everyone has. Okay, she would be the same, but that was hard to believe. Why did the author say this? Because from 20 years he had seen his grandmother in the same appearance, old and wrinkled. Okay, that's why he was not ready to believe that once his grandmother was young and pretty. It's clear, this thought. And why it was hard to believe him? Because from 20 years he found his grandmother in same old appearance with a wrinkled face. It's clear. And then he says about his grandfathers who was no more. Okay, and there was a portrait, there was a picture of his grandfather which was there was a shelf above a fireplace. There was a picture of his grandfather in the drawing room. It's clear. And in that picture he wore a big turban. As we people know, Khushwant Singh, he was from a Sikh family, and we know how Sikh people wear turban. In the same manner, in that picture, in that portrait, he wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. Okay, his long white beard covered the best part of his chest. Now think about a Sikh person, how they wear turban and how their beard is. Okay, then you will realize how would be his grandfather. Okay, and the other says that he looked at least 100 years old. Okay, and he didn't look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. And that time he could not realize that in portrait, in that figure, in that image, he was appearing 100 years old person. Then how could he have a wife and children? And wife that is grandmother of Khushwant Singh, and children father of Khushwant Singh. Okay, that's why he says he looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. Means to say, in that image, in that portrait, the grandfather looked very old. Okay, as for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. Once again, now look this phrase. Okay, the thought was almost revolting. Revolting here, this phrase refers, he was not ready to believe that once his grandmother was young and pretty. Okay, and the reason I have told you earlier here, because uh, uh, for 20 years he found his grandmother in same appearance. Okay, that's why he could not believe that once his grandmother was young and pretty. It's clear? And she often told us of the games he used to play as a child, and we people know how our grandparents, they tell us stories, they tell us games, what they used to play in their childhood, what they did, where they gone, what they achieved, like all these things. The same Khushwant Singh grandmother used to do. She used to tell him about the games she used to play as a child. Okay, and so many things, and that games that seemed quite absurd means ridiculous. Now we people know, now when our grandparents will say that we played in the ground, we played with stones, we played with pebbles, but now we people, we are playing with mobile phones, then we will laugh at them. Oh, what games they used to play. Okay, the same Khushwant Singh reacted, and those games about which grandmother used to tell him in her what she played in her childhood, okay, that seemed quite ridiculous. Absurd means here ridiculous for Khushwant Singh, and that was undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets. Fables means old stories. Okay, fables, old stories, and here the prophets, a messenger of God. But here old prophets, gurus of Sikh. Okay, Sikh gurus, like that, Sikh saints. Okay, she used to tell us. Then they treated the games of his grandmother like the fables of the prophets she used to tell them. Okay, now it's clear. Fables of the prophets, stories of the Sikh gurus. Here it's clear. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had. Okay, now here in these lines, appearance of grandmother. How was her body and how she used to look. Okay, he says she had always been short. Her height was not, she was not tall. She was a short type of lady, and she was fat and slightly bent, and her body was bent due to old age. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles. Okay, running from everywhere to everywhere. Now imagine of extremely old lady. You will find wrinkles at her face. Okay, so crisscross, zigzag, wrinkles at her face, which was running from everywhere to everywhere. Okay, it's clear. Now we have second phase of this topic, the portrait of a lady by Khushwant Singh. Okay, listen carefully. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her, old, so terribly old, that she couldn't have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Okay, in the second para, the poet says, she was in the same age, in the same appearance as they had known her. Okay, means to say his grandmother was too much old. She was terribly old, that is, too much old. And from there, she could not have grown older. And she had stayed at the same age for 20 years. From 20 years, the author Khushwant Singh had seen in the same appearance. There was not a little bit change in her appearance. Okay, that's why he was saying this. And once again, he said, she could never have been pretty. Once again, he says, in the first para, he said two times, three times, that she was once young and pretty. That was hard to believe. Leave this. Okay, this thought was coming again and again into the mind of the writer, of the author, Khushwant Singh. What was the reason? Only one main reason, because she had stayed at the same age for 20 years. There was no changing in her appearance or in her behavior or anything. That's why he was saying. That's why once again he said she was beautiful. That was hard to believe. She was pretty. It was not. He was not going to believe in this. Don't believe then. Okay, but she was always beautiful. He says, by face, she was beautiful, she was pretty or not, but by character, but she was always beautiful. But by character, she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop. Okay, and she was always in white sari, white, spotless white with one hand. Okay, her locks were, her silver locks, means to say her hairs were white. That's why silver locks. And she hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on. She was old, too much old. That's why her one hand always was on her waist to balance her stoop. Stoop means bent body due to old age. And the other telling the beads of her rosary. One hand was on her waist, okay, to support us, to make balance, and the another hand that was counting the beads of her rosary. Rosary, you know, okay, rosary, seeds of roses, okay, and be people count, who are the priest, sometimes they count the beads of rosary. Okay, and her silver locks, because her hairs were white, that's why silver locks were scattered, that hairs were untidily. Okay, and over her pale puckered face, puckered means wrinkled face, her hairs were scattered at her wrinkled face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Means to say, she was a religious lady. Each and every time her lips used to move in an inaudible prayer. Okay, yes, she was beautiful. Once again he said, yes, she was beautiful. And after that, Khuswant Singh compares his grandmother with what he said. He said she was like the winter landscape in the mountains. What is the landscape? We people know what is landscape. Rivers, mountains, trees, birds, so many things. Okay, but he compares his grandmother with the winter landscape in the mountains. In the winter season, what scene we find in the mountain area? Okay, white and white everywhere. And here what he says, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. The meaning is here that, as he earlier said, she was in spotless white, that is white sari, okay, okay, and her locks were, her hairs were silver, that is white, and she was a religious lady. She used to always pray. Okay, there was no blame in her. There was nothing. She never blamed anyone. She was happy, she was peaceful, she was calm. That's why he compared here an expanse of pure white serenity with the appearance of his grandmother. He compares with the landscape of mountains. In winter season, what happens in the mountain area? There is always white and white, okay, sheet of ice. That's why. And there is no disturbance. In the same manner, the grandmother of Khuswant Singh, she was extremely happy. She had no complaint regarding anything. She was calm and peaceful. That's why he compared his grandmother with winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. The meaning is here, she was peaceful, she was calm, she was contented. There was no problem. She had no complaint. It's clear? That's why he compared with his grandmother with the winter landscape in the mountains. It's clear? Now the next para, listen. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. This was habit because when parents of Khuswant Singh, they went a city to earn money or to do something. That time Khuswant Singh left with his grandmother in the village, and in the village how grandmother used to help him. Okay, everything she used to do for Khuswant Singh. Now see here, she used to wake him up in the morning and get him ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous means unchanging. Okay, there was no change. Sing song while she bathed and dressed him in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. Okay, I listened because I loved her voice but never bothered to learn it. Okay, so while bathing she used to sing a monotonous song, so that she hoped that one day Khuswant Singh would learn by heart, but he never tried to learn that song. He listened that song every day, but only for the sake of love of his grandmother. Not, he never tried to learn that song. Okay, then she would fetch his wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk. Okay, and slate here, when many years ago students used to write on this slate. Okay, that time we say in Hindi patri type, okay, patari, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen. Tie them all in a bundle and handed it to me. Okay, I used all these things: slate, yellow chalk, earthen ink pot, everything. Okay, so here after putting together, she used to after making a bundle, she used to handed him over. After a breakfast of a thick stale chapati with a little butter and a sugar spread on it, we went to school. And after these things, after breakfast, she used to accompany Khushwant Singh to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. Okay, now here two things. Okay, one, her love for her grandson. It's clear. And here once again in the last line here, notice she carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. Means to say she also used to love animals also. Okay, now the next para. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus. Chorus means together. My grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures, religious books. When we had both finished, okay, and after that, what is the reason? Because in that school, okay, she used to go to school with him because the school was attached to the temple, and in that temple she used to read scriptures, religious books. And Khushwant Singh with other children used to sing alphabets, learn alphabets and other things in chorus. Okay, alphabets or the prayer in the chorus means together. And after finishing, after the completion of the school and after reading the scriptures, both, okay, after after finishing, they would walk back together, this time the village dogs. Okay, and when Khushwant Singh and his grandmother used to come back, that time the village dogs would meet them at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. Okay, and after that, grandmother used to feed the dogs of that village the stale chapatis, and that time the dogs used to fight. It's clear? Next para. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. That was a turning point in our friendship. It's clear? Now, dear friends, focus the first phase of the relationship between Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. They were like good friends in the first phase. Okay, when they were in the village, they were good friends. Grandmother used to care of Khushwant Singh. Okay, but when parents of Khushwant Singh, when they settled comfortably in the city, they sent for them, and that was the turning point in their relationship, in their friendship. It's clear? When Khushwant Singh and his grandmother was called in the city, and when both came into the city, and that was a turning point in their friendship. Although we shared the same room, but initially they shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me, but in the village grandmother used to come to school with Khushwant Singh. But here in the city, his grandmother could not come to school because he used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of our city house. But the love of nature was in mother. Okay, in that city there were no dogs. That's why she began to feed sparrows in the courtyard of their city house. Courtyard means open space outside of the house. Okay, so here In the city, we also see the love for nature, the love of grandmother for nature, that is birds. It's clear? In the village, there were dogs, and in the city, now there are sparrows. It's clear? As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught. Okay, and as the years, the time was passing very soon, and for some time she continued to wake him up and get me ready for school. But when Kushwant Singh used to come back from the school, she used to ask what the teacher had taught in the school. Okay, dear friends, I'm moving fast because there is no serious thing and you cannot understand easily. That's why I am moving fast. Okay, so don't take it in another way. Now listen carefully. And I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning. The law of gravity, uh, Archimedes principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. Okay, and when Kushwant Singh used to tell her about some English words, what teachers taught at school, about the law of gravity, Archimedes principle, okay, and what are the things were going on in that school, he used to tell his grandmother. And when grandmother heard all these things, she was not happy. She was not happy about the teaching of that English school. Why? Because in that school she was not happy. Why? Because in that school there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. Scriptures means religious books. That's why she was not happy. And one day I announced that we were being given music lessons. And one day, Kushwant Singh came from the school and he told his grandmother that he was given music lessons. She was very disturbed. On that day, she was very disturbed after hearing that he was given a music lesson. Why? Listen carefully. To her, music had lewd associations. She thought that music is not for good persons. That's why she was very distressed. Okay, uh, and it was the monopoly of harlots and beggars. Harlots means prostitutes. Okay, and beggars, and not meant for gentlefolk. And she considered that music is not for a good people. That was only for harlots and beggars. It's clear? That's why she was very distressed. Okay, uh, that's why she didn't like the music. Lewd means indecent. Okay, and she said nothing, but her silence meant a disapproval. But on that day, she said nothing, but that her silence meant disapproval for that music. And why did she not like music? Here, because she considered the music was only for prostitutes and beggars. And that was not for gentlefolk, for educated persons. She rarely talked to me after that. After that, she rarely talked to him. That was the turning point. That was the day when she began to show her silence. And after that, she rarely talked to him. Okay. When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own, And after that, after school, he joined the university, and there he was given a room of his own. The common link of friendship was snapped. Here now see, uh, when he was in the school, that time he was living in the city house and grandma was there. But when he joined university, what was the common link between them? That was also broken. Okay, what was common link of friendship? Whatever, because Khushwant Singh and grandma was living under the same roof in the city house. But that common link of friendship also broken when he joined university. Okay, and there in hostel he began to live. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with a resignation. Okay, she rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. And after that, now listen, the meaning of this phrase, accepted her seclusion with resignation. The author says no one forced her to live alone, but she herself decided. But she herself chose the path that she began to live aloof, alone. She herself isolated. No one forced her. That's why my grandmother, his grandmother, accepted her seclusion, aloofness, okay, loneliness, with resignation herself. She was not forced by others. She herself isolated her. It's clear? She rarely left her spinning wheel, and after that what she used to do, she sat beside the spinning wheel and she used to spin and reciting prayers, and the same prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows, and in afternoon she used to take rest, and that time she used to feed the sparrows while uh, while she sat in the veranda breaking the bread into little bits. Now this you can see in your school. There are a number of pigeons, and when we people offer something, they come close to us. Okay, she sat in the veranda breaking the bread into little bits. Hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable beldam of chirpings. Means to say, here beldam means confusing. Beldam of chirpings means to say continuous chirping of birds. Some came and perched on her legs. Some birds used to come and used to sit on her legs. Others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. Okay, and to see the behavior and nature of birds, as his grandmother used to smile, but she never flew them away. She never shooed them away. Shooed them away, flew them away. Okay, she never shooed them away. It used to be the happiest hour of the day for her, and that moment used to be the happiest hour of the day for her. This was the daily routine of his grandmother. Is clear? When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell, but my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at a railway station, but didn't talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer, her mind was lost in prayer. Okay, and after university, the writer Khushwant Singh decided to go abroad for further studies, and that time he thought his grandmother would be upset. Okay, and in that because he was going abroad for 5 years, that's why he thought his mother would be upset because she was too much old. But his grandmother was not like that. What he thought, he didn't find that. Okay, she was not even sentimental. She was not a sentimental lady. She was very strong, courageous, religious lady. She came to leave him at the railway station, but that time she also didn't talk or show any emotion. Her lips, and that day here the writer found her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. This was the religious nature of grandmother of Khushwant Singh. In that terrible old age, she didn't leave the prayer. Each and every time she used to pray what she used to do earlier. Okay, and that day silently she kissed my forehead, and which I felt a cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. And then grandmother silently kissed his forehead. And the writer kept that feeling in his mind. Why? He thought that touch, that physical touch, might be the last, because he was going abroad for 5 years and his grandmother was too much old. And who could tell she would be alive or not? That's why he kept that physical touch of his grandmother in his memory, in his mind. It's clear? But that was not so. But what the writer thought, that didn't happen. What he thought? He thought that would be the last physical contact between them. Why? He thought she might die, but she was alive when after 5 years the writer came from abroad. It's clear? After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. Grandmother came railway station at the station to receive him. She didn't look a day older, and he found her in same appearance. She didn't look a day older. She still had no time for words. Okay, when he was going abroad, that time she didn't say a single word, only she kissed him. The same happened after 5 years. She didn't say a single word. And while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. And the same, when grandmother clasped him in her arms, that time he could hear the reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes. Okay, what is frivolous rebukes? Mild scolding. When in affection, be scold someone. When in love, be scold someone. That is frivolous rebukes. Okay, on that day, grandmother spent her happiest time with the sparrows, feeding them the breads. Okay, with mild scolding. It's clear? In the evening, a change came over her. She didn't pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumbed the sagging. Okay, but in the evening, a change came over her. The grandmother, who always prayed, each and every time her lips were moving in prayer, but for the first time in the life of Khushwant Singh, he found what he found. She didn't pray. This was the thing. She collected what she did that time. She collected the women of the neighborhood and got an old drum. She collected as ladies do around our houses. They collect women and they do something. The same grandmother did. She got an old drum and started to sing. And for several hours, she thumbed the sagging. Okay, she thumbed the dilapidated old drums. Okay, she played on that old drum for several hours, not for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 1 hour, for several hours. Dear friends, this is the last phase of our topic, the portrait of a lady. We know after the arrival of Khushwant Singh from abroad, in the evening time, the grandmother didn't pray. What she did that time? She collected women of neighborhood and she got an old drum and started to sing. For several hours, she thumbed the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum. Okay, what is sagging? Sagging skin that is loosed, hangs down. Okay, when the drum is not in its good condition, that time the skin of drums that hangs down. Okay, and that dilapidated, that is old drum. She beated and sang of the homecoming of warriors. Okay, warriors. That time what she was singing? The homecoming of warriors. When we come, many times when we come at home after spending 1 year or a few months, that time our grandparents become so happy. Our parents become so happy, then they arrange any occasion or other things. The same grandmother did as after war, when the warriors they return home after victory, that time there is celebration and there is song for them. In that manner, grandmother sang of the homecoming of warriors. We had to persuade her to stop, to avoid overstraining. Okay, and then the parents of Khushwant Singh and Khushwant Singh himself, they persuaded her. They tried to stop her, to avoid that overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she didn't pray. And this, what happened on that day, Khushwant Singh said for the first time since he had known her that she didn't pray. First time he found this. Okay. And when parents and Khushwant Singh they requested her to stop the singing, then she stopped. The next morning she was taken ill. Then next morning what happened? She was taken ill. It was a mild fever and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. Okay, when doctor came and when he after the examination, he told them, oh, that is a very mild fever, there is no problem, and that fever would go very soon. But his grandmother thought differently. The doctor advised that was mild fever, there was no problem for her. Okay, but his grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. What she told them? She told them that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. And Khushwant Singh said that one day before, during evening time, she could not pray. And in the morning she was taken ill. That's why after telling them that her end was near, the writer says, because she realized, grandmother realized her end was near, that's why she didn't want to spend, she didn't want to spend her time, to waste her time, okay, in talking with them. That's why she protested. Okay, that's why she wanted to pray, because before end of her life she omitted, she stopped her prayer. That's why she was not going to waste her time, more time talking to them. Be protested. They requested, mother, grandmother, don't do that. She was ill, but she ignored our protests. But she didn't listen their protests. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Okay, and what she did? She went to the bed, and in bed she began her prayer and telling her beads, that counting the beads of rosary, the same. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Suddenly what happened? They found that her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from lifeless fingers. And then the rosary which she was counting, that fell from her lifeless fingers. Very soon his grandmother passed away. She realized her end was near. This happens when we have contact, close contact with God. When we pray, sometimes we can guess what is about to happen. Sometimes we can guess the same guess she had. She was always praying. She was a religious lady. That was her thinking related to God. Due to that reason, there was no teaching at school about God and scripture. That's why she didn't talk to her own grandson, whom she used to love too much in the village. Okay. There would be many things, but after realization that her end was near, how could she know? But she knew very well. And then a peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. And suddenly they found a peaceful, pale, pale color spread on her face, and then they realized that grandma was no more. She was dead. She was passed away. Is clear? Then we lifted her off the bed, and as is customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. And we people know this is our custom. If someone dies, what we do, we put the dead body on the ground. The same they did, and they covered her with a red shroud. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone. Okay, and after that they someone cried, someone wept, and someone were sad, someone discussed about grandmother, so many things as we people normally do at our home in such cases. Okay, then we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. Okay, and then we take the body towards the ghats and towards other places to burn or to bury. Okay, for that they left the dead body of grandmother. Then what happened? In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher. What is crude stretcher? That is made up of bamboo or of anything. Okay. To take her to be cremated, the sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. Okay, that was evening time. The sun was about to set, but due to the sign of sun, okay, the room and veranda, that was a blaze of golden light. Okay, in that room, in that veranda where the dead body of grandmother was kept, that was left, there was golden light of sunshine. Okay, and then we stopped halfway in the courtyard. They were going towards that room and veranda, but suddenly they stopped. Why they stopped? All over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and still wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. What they found? They found there thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Okay, in the veranda, in that room, till that dead body, where that strip wrapped in the red shroud, where the dead body was. Okay, around in that veranda, in that room, there were thousands of sparrows scattered, were sitting on the floor. There was no chirping, and we know earlier in the earlier pages, in the earlier page, what was there? There was welcome of chirpings. There was welcome of chirpings, and we people know birds always chirp. They always make noise. But that time there was no chirping. Now see, this is the nature, love of nature. When we love nature, in return we get love from nature. She loved feeding sparrows. Now listen, now look here. What we find, that thousands of sparrows were sitting without voice, without chirping. This was the tribute of birds for that grandmother who feted when she was alive. As parents, members, family members of Khuswant Singh, they mourned. They expressed their sadness after the death, at the death of grandmother. The same thing, the same mourning was going on by sparrows. Okay, then we felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them, and Khuswant Singh's mother, and they felt very sorry for the birds, and his mother feeded some bread for them. But what she did, she broke it into little crumbs, the way my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. Okay, and in that manner, in which manner grandmother used to make crumbles of the bread and used to give the birds, the same Khushwant Singh mother did, and she threw to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. Now listen, the birds, the animals, the birds here. In the village there were dogs, there was love for dogs. Now in the city, love of sparrows. How? After getting crumbles of bread, the sparrows didn't take notice of the bread. This we find when we carried my grandmother's corpse off, when they carried his grandmother's dead body towards the ghat or at some other places, they flew away quietly. The birds, all birds flew away quietly. They didn't make a noise. They didn't take any crumble, any bit of that bread. And next morning, the sweeper swept the bread crumbs into the dustbin. Dear friends, in this lesson, we find good themes. What are the themes? Now you can tell me very clearly. The themes are, first theme is innocence, friendship we can see between Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. There was love, there was affection, connection, kindness, selflessness. Okay, there was no selfish nature, there was selflessness. Selflessness. Now listen, sparrows, dogs, birds, grandmother. Okay, respect and acceptance. These things we find here. Now see the love of nature, see the love of birds, love of grandmother towards birds, sparrows in the last, and also the love of birds towards grandmother. It's clear? Dear friends, we should try to love nature. We should try to love birds, dogs, animals as grandmother did. Okay, so after going through this topic, we come to this point that as our parents, grandparents do with us, what they do for us, the same every grandparent does. It's clear? Now friends, we have word meanings. You can take help from here. Okay, so all difficult words have been given here. It's clear? After the topic, we have some questions. So note down these questions, answers of these questions in your notebook. Two questions, and that here 3 and 4, 7 to 9, total 9 questions for you. Write the answers of these questions in your notebook. Okay, dear friends, this is our first audio lesson of our Hornbill book, and if any doubt, please feel comfortable to ask me. Okay, in the last, I request you, please love your grandparents because they play very important role in building up our character. It's clear? Whatever the message you have got from this topic, apply that in your life. Try to respect our grandparents. Try to share time with them. Don't leave them alone. In this topic, Khushwant Singh's grandmother, she isolated herself due to some reasons which you know that. It's clear? So once again, I request you all, love your grandparents, because one day we will face the same age, the same feelings. Because in old days, we need communication, we need company, we need to talk with others. That time people stay at home. There is none. Our children, they are busy in their work. Who is at home? No one. That's why whenever you get time, go talk to them. Try to share your things with them. Okay? Don't forget this. Love your grandparents. In the end, thank you everyone. If any doubt, please ask me. Don't hesitate. Once again, thank you everyone.